The early morning mist clung to the Himalayan foothills like a soft, cold blanket. Aryan's footsteps crunched on the gravel path, each step heavier than the last. His body ached from days of trekking, but it was the turmoil in his mind that weighed him down most. City life, the endless noise, the relentless pace, felt like a distant nightmare he was desperate to escape. Yet even here, far from the chaos, clarity remained elusive. His backpack sagged under the weight of thick books on success, productivity, and self-improvement. Words that once inspired him, but now only reminded him of how lost he'd become. Rounding a bend, Aryan's eyes caught sight of a tiny tea stall built beside a weathered stupa. Thin smoke curled upward from its crooked chimney. Above the entrance, a simple wooden sign read, "Chai aur chinta, dono yahin chod jao." Something about the sign beckoned him. He stepped inside, brushing off the cold. A monk sat quietly by a wooden bench, wearing a faded orange robe. His head was shaved, his face serene, and his eyes held the calm of centuries. Without a word, he smiled and motioned for Aryan to sit. "Chai," the monk offered gently. Aryan nodded, voice rough from the cold. "Strong, please. I have a long journey ahead." The monk moved with a quiet grace, preparing the tea with careful, deliberate movements. The room smelled of warm spices and wood smoke. Clay cups lined the shelves, along with handwritten quotes in both Hindi and English. One read, "जीवन का स्वाद तभी आता है जब हम रुककर उसे महसूस करते हैं." Aryan's heart softened at the thought. The monk's voice broke the silence, soft and understanding. "You seem tired." "Tired isn't the word," Aryan said, staring at the chipped cup the monk placed before him. "I'm lost, disconnected from everything. I left the city hoping to find answers, but all I've found is more confusion." The monk stirred the tea slowly, his eyes never leaving Aryan's face. "What is it you really seek?" Aryan hesitated. He had practiced the answer many times. Success, purpose, meaning. But the words felt empty now. "Peace," he whispered. A gentle smile played on the monk's lips. "Then sit. Drink." Sometimes peace does not come to those who chase it. It comes when one simply stops chasing. He handed Aryan the steaming cup. The aroma wrapped around him like a warm embrace. The first sip was unfamiliar, earthy, calm, and strangely comforting. Slowly, warmth spread through Aryan's chest, easing the tight knot in his heart. "This is good," Aryan murmured. "Not just the tea," said the monk. "The stillness it was made with. You taste what you bring to it." They sat quietly, watching the mist swirl and dance outside the wooden window. "So many people climb mountains hoping to conquer them," the monk said after a moment. "But the mountain is indifferent. What matters is not the peak, but the way you walk each step." Aryan's gaze dropped to his cup. "I've been rushing, always chasing the next goal. Maybe it's time I learn to walk slower." The monk's eyes twinkled. Slower, softer, deeper. Life is not a race. It's the quiet brewing of tea in a humble stall. Leaning back, Aryan felt the bench beneath him steady his restless soul. He watched the small flame flicker under the kettle, patient and unhurried. Something inside him shifted, a ripple in still water. Slow, subtle, and promising. In the city, every minute was a battle, Aryan confessed. Deadlines, noise, expectations. I thought if I achieved more, I'd finally feel enough. The monk nodded, his voice a whisper. "You were drinking salt water, hoping it would quench your thirst." Aryan's breath caught. "Yes, that's exactly how it feels." "Then maybe it's time to stop drinking," the monk said gently. "Sit still. Let the thirst pass." The cup was empty now, The monk rose and motioned for Arian to follow outside. Together they gazed at the valley bathed in soft golden light. "This too is life," the monk said quietly. "Not just tasks and triumphs. The wind, the silence, the space between your thoughts." Tears welled in Arian's eyes, tears without sorrow, but of relief. Something long buried was finally seen. The tea kettle sang a soft whistle as the monk hummed an old, wordless tune. The melody mingled with the whisper of wind threading through the pine needles outside, creating a quiet symphony that filled the little shop. "You carry a heavy burden," the monk observed, nodding toward Arian's sagging backpack. Arian sighed, running a hand over the worn strap. Books, pages filled with how to succeed, how to achieve more. And yet, the monk's voice was gentle but probing. Arian looked down, ashamed. "I'm more lost now than ever before." The monk reached for the clay pot and poured the steaming tea with reverence, the amber liquid swirling in the cup. He handed it to Arian with a smile that held no judgment, only kindness. "Imagine your mind as a cup," the monk said softly. "You keep filling it. More goals, more advice, more noise, hoping it will satisfy you. But a full cup cannot hold anything more." Arian frowned, the metaphor stirring something within him. "Then what should I do?" "Drink slowly," the monk replied. "Taste each moment. Feel the warmth seep into your bones. Wisdom, like tea, is not rushed. It is savored." Arian obeyed, reluctant at first. But with every sip, the chaotic clamor inside his head softened, like ripples settling on a still pond. We spend our lives chasing outcomes, titles, money, applause. But those are shadows, fleeting and hollow. Presence is the true treasure. To be here now, fully, with this tea, this breath, this silence, that is success. The words sank into Arian's soul, quiet but profound. His mind, usually a storm of restless thoughts, was now a calm sea. Outside, the wind rustled the leaves as a bird sang its lonely song. "What do you do all day here?" Arian finally asked, curiosity breaking the silence. "I make tea," the monk said with a smile. "I sweep the floor, I welcome travelers, I watch the mountains shift with the seasons." "And that is enough?" "It is everything," the monk replied. "True success is not in doing more, but in being more." Arian looked down at his cup, the last drops of tea warming his fingers. For the first time in months, he felt the heavy weight inside him begin to lift. "Can I help you sweep?" he asked quietly. The monk laughed, a warm, gentle sound. "Of course." Together, they swept the small shop, the rhythmic brushing of the broom, a meditation that cleared the noise from Arian's mind as surely as it cleared the dust from the floor. When the task was done, the monk handed Arian an empty cup. "What is this for?" Arian asked. "To remind you," the monk said softly, "to keep your cup empty sometimes, so life can fill it with what truly matters." The fire in the small stove crackled softly, casting flickering shadows on the wooden walls. Outside, the first rays of sun stretched across the valley, setting the mist aglow like a silver veil. Arian sat quietly, feeling the gentle rhythm of the place settle deep inside him. The monk moved about the shop with quiet grace, his every motion filled with purpose, yet free from hurry. "Why do you live this simple life?" Arian finally asked, his voice soft, as if speaking too loudly might shatter the fragile peace around them. The monk smiled, eyes twinkling. "Because I have learned that success is not a mountain to climb or a prize to win. It is the art of being fully present, embracing the ordinary, the small, the now." Arian nodded slowly, the meaning unfolding like dawn within him. "I spent so long chasing achievements, believing they would fill the emptiness inside. but all I found was more longing. Most do, the monk said. But there is freedom in letting go. Freedom in knowing that life's greatest gifts come not from accumulation, but from stillness. Aryan looked around, taking in the warmth of the wooden walls, the scent of brewing tea, the soft hum of the mountain breeze. For the first time, he felt at home, not in a place, but within himself. "Can I stay longer?" Aryan asked, a hopeful note in his voice. The monk nodded. "Whenever you wish. This place is always here for those who seek not answers, but presence." Aryan stood, feeling lighter than he had in months. The heavy burden of ambition and doubt had loosened, replaced by a quiet joy. Before leaving, the monk placed a simple clay cup in Aryan's hand. "Remember," he said gently, "to keep your cup empty sometimes, so life can fill it with what truly matters." Aryan smiled, the cup warm between his fingers. With a deep breath, he stepped out into the morning light, ready to walk his journey with a new heart. This story teaches us that being happy and peaceful doesn't always mean doing lots of things or winning every time. Sometimes it's important to slow down, enjoy little moments, and just be calm. Like drinking a warm cup of tea slowly, life is better when we take time to feel and notice what's around us. When we stop rushing and make space in our hearts, we can find true happiness. Don't forget to take breaks and enjoy the simple things. That's where real peace and joy live.